All right, it's 11 a.m. Hope you're having a great weekend. Welcome to the VANAS, which stands for Vancouver Animation School webinar. I'll be the host. I'm Kelvin Leduc. I'm head of faculty. I'm also one of the computer animation teachers. We've been around for a long time, over 11 years. I think we're going on 12 years. We were the first online school here in Canada. Talk briefly about myself. I worked for over 20 years professionally in the animation industry. I grew up in Ontario in Canada, and I went to school for 4 years learning how to do traditional animation. My first job was up in Ottawa working on a TV series called The Raccoons. And I went to Montreal and I worked on television commercials, went down to California, did the first Alvin and the Chipmunk feature, went to London, England, worked on Who Framed Roger Rabbit for a year, went to Germany, did a feature there, invited by Spielberg back to London to work on American Tail, then did 3 years of commercials in California for Dale Bear. Worked at DreamQuest on a Sony Science project, worked for Rick Rich on the first Swan Princess. Disney invited me back for 10 years to work on animated features, everything from working on Pocahontas. I did the raccoon, Miko, Mushu the dragon in Mulan, Emperor's New Groove. I worked on Yzma the crazy old lady. And pretty much the last feature I worked on was Treasure Planet with Billy Bones and Long John Silver. I did other features, Pegasus from Hercules and the Gargoyles and Hunchback of Notre Dame. At that time, they were transitioning from 2D to 3D. So I worked on Silicon graphic stations. At that time, they cost $100,000 and $70,000 Maya license. It's pretty expensive to learn how to do Maya, but Disney retrained me for free. I worked for Sony down in San Diego, working on Neopets video game. I worked on a feature in San Clemente. I came up here to Vancouver, and that's where our school office is located. I was the head of a school for 4 years. I became a contract instructor for a few more years. I was a professor down in Seattle for a couple of years. And then I came back to this online school, Vancouver Animation School. And I've been with them almost 11 years now. And for about 7, I've been head of faculty. Okay, so let's take a look at what we offer. You actually can enroll either in Canada or the United States. We're fully accredited, so you can get your certification through a different country. We started with just 2 courses, concept art and 3D animation. Now we have 10 diploma courses, and the diploma courses last year. We added 2D animation because the industry, the studios, said we can't find enough people. It's very much in demand. The most 2D animation done in North America is done here in Vancouver, which is great. Like I said, it's a 1-year course, so you get 4 terms. Each term is 3 months long. We pretty much use free software, and if the software isn't free, then it's part of the Adobe Creative Cloud or Creative Suite package. All of our instructors are professionals currently working in the industry. I'm always hiring the best I can find, people that have their own studio, people that are directors, people that are supervisors, art directors. In the first term, you're pretty much learning the basics. You're learning principles. The second term for animation, you're learning locomotion, which means walks and runs, animal animation as well. Third term, you're starting to learn acting, pantomime, and in the fourth term, you're learning to do acting with two. I have examples. Let me start showing student examples. And it's right over here. For 2D animation, you're learning both how to use rigs and how to draw the animation by hand. And here's a dog rig that we supply to you as well. I'm going to go back to 3D computer animation. We use Maya. Maya is, like I said, free for students, schools, and instructors. And it's based on the same curriculum breakdown that we do for 2D animation. People are learning how to do the basics, and they're learning how to do walks, which is very important for their character. Learning how to do pantomime. Pantomime is acting without dialogue. You can be anywhere in the world, as long as you have the proper equipment. All you really need is a computer that has a graphics card. You have a monitor, you have your webcam, and you have your headphones with a built-in mic. We do realistic animation, we do cartoony animation, animal animation. It's all important. You can never tell what style your studio is going to work in. Okay. It's important to learn animal animation, guys. Okay. 3D modeling, we use Maya, which you can model in Maya. Maya 3D package basically is a studio in a box. You can do everything with it. Modeling, rigging, which is putting in controls, animating, lighting, texturing, compositing, working with audio. So I'll show you some examples of 3D modeling. So you're learning how to do characters, creatures, both realistic and cartoony, abstract. You're doing inorganic, which would either be vehicles or buildings, props, tools, weapons, and cartoony creatures. We have a animated short film course, and I'm just going to move this over. It's blocking my view here. The requirements of this, and actually I should mention this for all the diploma courses, is usually we require a portfolio to enter a course, and that we approve the portfolio. If you don't have a portfolio, we then request that people take our Intro to Digital Art course, which is a 3-month course. You're getting 1 class a week. In the diploma courses, you're getting 2 classes a week, each an hour long. And we have a lot of supplemental help sessions as well. If you're doing modeling, if you're doing animation, we have an extra course in Maya every week. If you're doing concept art, we have an extra course in Photoshop. If you're doing video game design, we have an extra class in coding for that. This one, in order to be accepted into the animated short film course, you already have to know how to animate. Either you've taken at least 1 year successfully at another school or our school, or you learned it, on your own. But you have to prove to us that you know how to animate. And you can either do 2D or 3D animation for your short film. I have an example. This student actually was one of my first students about 10 years ago. Then he came back. He wanted to make a short film. It's a great calling card for a studio. It's a lot of work, and he had a great time doing it. All right. My first student in that course, in this course of animated short films, did a 2D animated short film, and she won 7 international animation festivals, which was very impressive. And she was a mature student. She actually was retired. Concept art is designing the requirements of a studio when doing animation. And it doesn't matter what type of studio it is, whether it's commercials or video games or feature films. You're designing everything. And let's just get into here. This is all, everything I'm showing you is examples of our own students' work. You're having to design the characters, the colors of their costumes, their environments, the different seasons. You're doing organic, trees, mountains. You're doing entire villages. Here is the different levels in a video game, the settings. You're learning perspective in order to do buildings. You're learning how to add light and shadow, tonality. You're doing look and feel. So you're coming up with color schemes. What does the shadow look like? What do my lights look like? Different times of day, different seasons. You're coming up with the blueprints because you're all part of a team working in animation. And in order to hand it to another person so they can either model it or draw it from a different angle. After I finish chatting for a little while, guys, I'll open it up to some questions and answers. You're designing vehicles. So whether it's futuristic, realistic, from the past, ships, boats, weapons. You're working a lot in silhouette to come up with easily recognizable shapes. You're coming up with the design of the effects. All the costumes have to be designed. All the buildings have to be designed. Weapon, everything that you're encountering, every cup, every glass, every chair. Here's a nice piece of look and feel concept art. So it's the character in the environment with the cooking tools, with the food, with the fire, with the smoke. So when they are ready to make the film, they know how everything should be designed. You're gonna be doing lots of drawing, and we do life drawing. If you can do life drawing, which is very difficult, you can draw anything. That's the purpose of us doing life drawing. Cartoony characters. So you have that broad range, right? And a huge fan of very broad cartoony animation. You know, the idea of having a purple octopus in a bathtub, very fanciful. You're learning modeling as well, a little bit of modeling. So you're taking your rough designs and you're modeling them, and then you're texturing them. A lot of character design. This is an example of silhouette. So can you easily recognize your character just in silhouette? Vehicles, spaceships, creatures. There is a couple map painting exercises in the concept art course. Map painting is you're taking a real environment and you are adding to it. So here they've added spaceships into a city. Animals. So here you're seeing a character riding on an animal. Anthropomorphic cartoon characters. And this is where you take usually an animal and then you make it stand on two legs. And here's a great example of a realistic character somebody's designed. You're doing model sheets, what does the character look like from the front, the side, the back. Not just the costumes, but the expressions that a character will have as well. Lots of different characters. Male, female, young, old, alien, creature. Different styles. Is it 3D? Is it 2D? And here's another example of a map painting. So they've added a giant moon in the background. This is a nice example. I'm a huge comic book fan myself, but to see a character and it's it's more like a superhero with powers in an environment with the costume. And this student was a mature student. He wanted to transition from working in the industrial design studio and go into animation. He came to us, he went back to school, and he got a job with Sony Feature Animation. We do very high-end visual effects. We're using Houdini, whereas a lot of schools, you're only learning to use something like Maya. Maya really isn't for the industry. What do we do with Houdini? Here's an example right here. You're able to use Houdini and learn advanced coding, which allows you to adjust all the factors, right? Smoke, wind, water, fire. A little bit of detail about the Introduction to Digital Arts course, right? If you've never, I've already stated, if you don't have a portfolio, you can take this course and that'll serve as your portfolio to enter one of our diploma courses. But if you've never studied online, or if you don't know if you'd like to work by yourself or work online, this is a great course. Or if you don't know about digital arts, this is a great course. What we did was we put together all our intro courses, and this is a nice little sampler plotter. It lasts 3 months, and you're getting 2 weeks of concept art followed by, so you're designing something like a character, 2 weeks of modeling. So then you can model your character, followed by 2 weeks of 2D animation, then 2 weeks of 3D animation, then 2 weeks of effects animation. And by that time, you'd have a good idea, what would you like to be doing? We have a diploma course in esports. Now, it's not to be an esports player, it's to be a manager of an esports team. So you're learning how to manage the team, you're learning how to put on the tournaments. Video game design. With that 1-year diploma course, you're learning how to actually make your own games. And let me show you some examples. And you're learning different styles as well. This is a simplified 2D design. I like this little pig character. Right, he's bouncing around collecting coins. And then just the other day, one of our video game instructors sent me a piece of a new game that a new student is doing in this course. And it's right here. And to me, it's pretty funny. I'm just going to cut closer in here. I love the simplified design, but what I really think is funny is it's a pizza delivery guy. And at the moment, his city or town is in covered with zombies. So while he's trying to deliver pizza, he keeps encountering zombies, and he has to kick the zombie. And I think the simplified movement is very well done. You can see a map of your total environment. We made the delivery there. He's collecting money. He changes his fighting tactics too. He just doesn't kick all the time. That he has to either jump or go around objects. He just bought a shotgun, grabs the pizza, goes out. I know you can see this, but to me, it's very amusing. He goes back. He bought the shotgun, but he didn't actually bring it with him. So he goes back and gets the shotgun. Uh, anyhow, I think it's a great game. It looks good to me. Virtual reality. We're always looking for courses that are, in demand, and we're also looking for things that are going to be in demand in the future. And in our opinion, virtual reality is going to be becoming more and more popular as time goes by. With this course, people will learn how to draw, paint, and animate using virtual reality. Up here, I've been bypassing our production management course. It's a new course. We're waiting for final approval from the government. We've been building it over the course of the last year, and it's for people that want to be part of a animation studio, but they don't want to be on the artistic side. They want to be learning how to do the production side, how to manage the assets, the facilities, hire people, get them training, setting up the schedules, and making sure everything runs smoothly. Our idea is that you're going to learn to use the software, and we're actually going to have you attend other classes that we're running, other diploma classes, such as modeling or animation, and learning how to take notes. The way we run our classes is you work on your assignment, you submit it on the weekend, and then at the beginning of the week, Monday or Tuesday, you're going to have a review class, and that's a live class with your instructor. They're going to assess your work, give feedback and critique on it, how to improve it, what's right, what's wrong, what needs to be fixed. And then a couple of days later in the week, you're going to get a lecture class, and these are all live classes. Oftentimes, there's also a recorded video that you can access and watch anytime, and do your assignments, and then each week you repeat. This is a very specialized course, writing for animation. It lasts 3 months. It's again taught by a professional writer, and students are learning how to come up with a pitch Bible for a TV series. Um, it's pretty special in terms of, I don't think there's any other writing for animation online courses out there. Okay. I'm going to open it up to some questions now. Just type in, or I think there is in their Q&A also some questions, and I can come up here and check these out. Any programs for anyone still in high school? Generally, I believe you have to be 18 or a high school graduate. But yes, what we created, I'm going to say about 7 years ago, is an online learning platform that our diploma students get access to as part of coming to our Vancouver Animation School. But it's called FAME. You can go to myfame.org. And generally, we started this for high school students. And a few years after we started it, grade school teachers asked us to create simpler courses. And then a couple years after that, universities and colleges asked us to create more advanced courses. So they all exist in here. And let me go to the library. There's over 400 courses. We're always adding more to it. I'm in the process of adding 64 new courses. We got a request from American high school teachers and grade school teachers asking for enough courses to have 12 courses for every year from grades 4, usually it starts at grade 4, up to the end of high school, grade 12. You can see the examples here. We have drawing courses, we have Intro to Maya, 3D animation, or this is just talking about the interface or modeling. We have concept courses, we have painting courses. This is using gouache, which is like poster paint. We have pencil drawing courses. We have working with constraints in Maya, that's turning on and off the ability to hold something. History of comic book courses, rigging, we talked about that. That's putting in the controls. So we did every assignment in our 2D animation exists in FAME. Designing the character, modeling the character, rigging the character, and animating the character. We had a professional director, that's a friend of ours, do a storyboarding course. Every topic starts with 3 courses. Each course has 12 assignments. And then we grow from there. So you start with 3, and then 6, and 9, and 12. Lots of English courses, lots of effects, acting, very important, coloring, working with Photoshop, drawing comic books. Here's some simplified courses. Doing portraits is working with digital drawing, sculpting, drawing animals. So yes, the answer is yes. We have some courses for high school students. What are the live classes like for 2D animation? Well, pretty much you need to have a webcam. You need to turn it on, very important. That's a requirement of attending our school. If you don't turn it on, you're considered absent. You have to attend the whole class. It's only an hour long. You can see the other students. You can see your instructor. Everybody has the microphone, so you can ask questions at any time. Any programs that explore AI? No, we don't have AI courses. How does FAME differ in difficulty compared to the Intro to Digital Arts? FAME is massive. Like I said, it's, well, I'm quoting about a year ago, we had 400 courses. So easily we have more because I'm always adding to them. It's self-driven. You can purchase a FAME license yourself. Most of the time, schools purchase it, and a lot of school districts purchase it. So it could be, an example would be every French school in BC has FAME, right? Every high school in a certain city has FAME. Some universities that have thousands of students have FAME. FAME currently has over 10,000 students using it. Intro. Intro is for people that want to either bring up their skills to get into a diploma or find out if they would like to do digital arts as a living. I think intro is easier. You have a full-time instructor there, right? You can contact them at any time. We have our own message board. Everybody's able to see each other's art. The instructor was one of my earliest students, and he has his own studio. He knows the entire production pipeline. So he does a lot of commercial work. He's coming up with the storyboards, designing, either doing a lot of composite work for a still, or if it's animated, he animates it, lights it. So these are good questions. Other questions? Test me, guys. All right. I mean, to me, it's all about find what you love doing and make a career out of it, right? It's myself, I worked on projects like Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and you want to be jumping out of bed in the morning and rushing to get there and working hard, and it's not really work, it's doing what you love to do, right? And that's something I did 35 years ago, and people are still telling me they loved, watching what I worked on. And it's nice to hear that, I did something people enjoy. How's the course content presented? Do the instructors do live demos for the students? Yes, that's what they do, especially in the second class, which that's what it's for. Myself, when I teach, there's always multiple ways of doing things, and there'll be a recorded lesson for students to watch, and I'm there and I can show another way of doing something, right? So I can show you briefly inside the school. We're on our third generation platform, and I believe early next year, we're moving up to our fourth platform. So we're always improving. Right. You can see when my classes are happening and what classes I have. The artboard literally shows everybody's work that attends the school. And you can click on it, you can give feedback, and you can send it to them. It's a great way to network, right? The people you meet in school are the people you're going to work with all over the world. It's a very small industry, guys. We have our own school news, right? The number shows up here. Curriculum will explain what you're doing every week. Our library includes the assets. So things that you're going to need for your class are kept here. You can access them. There's videos, there's images, there's templates. The teacher's library is for teachers to access. There's a shortcut to fame, community. Everybody at the school is presented here. This is how you can contact them. You can send a message. You can click on their profile and see more about them. Orientation videos. These are short how-to videos on how to use our campus. Global calendar shows when do all your, well, this shows when all the classes exist. My calendar actually shows what I'm up to every day. We have our own internal message board, which is great. So when you message an instructor, it's archived. Everything that's ever been said is kept in the message board. So if somebody's asking, do you get a chance to practice in class? Or is it outside class time? I would probably say students don't practice in class. I know when I demo, I tell students, take notes, watch what I'm doing. If you try to follow along, people miss a step and they, can't do anything because they weren't actually watching what was going on and recording it. Is the process around parent permission for high school students under 18 or to take the Intro to Digital Art course? Parent permission can be for any student. There are some students that occasionally have learning disabilities, and it's nice when we're given permission to discuss anything with a parent or a guardian. When somebody signs up for the school that is of legal age, we enter into a contract with them, and we're only allowed to discuss things with them, whether it's regarding payments or assignments due or graduation, anything, any topic. We have a contract with that one individual. But when a parent permission slip is completed, that allows us to open a discussion with their parent as well, which is very helpful. Like I was saying earlier, guys, students can be anywhere in the world taking our course. And your instructor can be anywhere in the world, right? I don't just hire instructors from Canada, right? I attend many conventions and conferences around the world. And the best that I find, with the required skills and the best instructors as well. Just because you can be great at doing something doesn't mean you're a good teacher. So I'm always looking for really good teachers as well. And those people tend to be with us for years. We have some instructors that have been with us since day one, right? So I'm going to wrap it up in a minute or two. Any final questions? Now's the time to ask. If you do have a question that you think of later, you could write to us at info@vanas.ca. I'll just type that into the chat. Find out, wherever you end up going, find out who your instructors are. Find out how much experience they have, right? That's what's really important. Career counseling program available. We do offer suggestions. We don't have an official, we'll get you a job. That's actually illegal to tell a student that you can guarantee them work after going to a school. What's the difference between online and in-person online learning? Well, we do have, and I didn't mention it yet, we do have what's called our combined course. So a student can be in any of our diploma courses, and they're getting an extra day of classes 1 day a week at our offices. They come in, they generally are working on a combined project. The instructor, who has 35 years industry experience and about 20 years professional experience of teaching, we'll have them working together on an assignment. He'll be lecturing about, different skills, either his experience in the industry. And that's basically the difference between just fully online, where you never have to come to the school. We do welcome people to visit us at our school. What we did was we originally were located on Granville Island, and we had several different places we were renting as we kept expanding. And then 7 years ago, we decided to purchase our own building. So we did that. We tripled the size. We have lots of private offices, conference rooms, full kitchen. It's a nice place to work. It's a nice place for the students to come. So that looks like the end of our questions. Hope you learned something today. Thanks for coming. Enjoy your weekend. And I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.